Hello guys, welcome to my channel Link LitHub. Hope so you all are doing great. So a lot of students were asking me how to write a thesis. The students who are going to write a thesis for the first time don't know the about the headings of the thesis and don't know that what type of information will come into the each thesis, into the each heading. So in this video I am going to tell you that what will come into the each heading and what type of information you should write in your thesis. So let's start. The first one is abstract. The abstract is the whole information about the thesis. You will write every part of the thesis, every information of the thesis in 1 to 2 lines in the abstract. The first 2 lines will be the general introduction of the thesis. Next 2 lines will be the research methodology. The next 2-3 lines will be about the results. The next 2-3 lines will be about the discussion. The next 2 to 3 lines about the limitations and recommendations of the thesis. You will write abstract in the end of the thesis. It will come into the first part of the thesis, but you will write it at the end. So it is the abstract. Now the chapter 1 will be the introduction. Abstract is not your chapter. Your chapter will be the introduction, first chapter. So what introduction will come? What are you going to do in your thesis? It will be the general introduction of all about your topic of the thesis. For example, my topic in BS English was a qualitative analysis of code switching in Pakistani classrooms. So what I have done in the introduction, that I told about how English is spoken in Pakistan, how English is spoken in the education institutes, what is the role of ELT in Pakistan, what is the linguistic details of Pakistan and Punjab. My focus was Punjab. So what is the linguistic details of English in Punjab and Pakistan. This is all about the general introduction. It will tell that why you have chosen this topic, why I am going to discuss the code switching in Pakistani classrooms, because there is the importance of English in Pakistani classrooms, because students, it is not the first language of the students, because ELT is important in Pakistan, and because of the linguistic details of Punjab and Pakistan. So this is the general introduction. Except for introduction, there are some main headings which will come into the introduction. First you will write the general introduction and all the headings and subheadings which will come into your introduction. Then you will write the aims. What are your aims of this research? What is the significance of this research? Why are you doing this research? Why I was going to study the code switching in Pakistani classrooms? Because code switching, it is an important topic in Pakistani classroom, because ELT is important in Pakistani classroom, because I want to see that why code switching is impacting the students in what ways. Then research questions will come, and then limitations. There are limitations in each of your thesis which you have to write in the limitations part. So what can be your limitations? For example, my limitations was that I was only focusing on BS and MPhil classrooms. I was not focusing on other classrooms. I was only focusing on the teacher's perspective about code switching, how teacher is using the code switching. I was not looking at how students are using the code switching. So these types of things can be in the limitations. You have to write this. These all are important headings of introduction. Now literature review. Now what will be the main parts of the literature review? That you will share the definitions of your topic. You will share the previous researches related to your topic. For example, I have shared the previous researches which have been done about the code switching in classrooms. That code switching can be in Arabic classrooms, it can be in everywhere. Whatever the researches were done on the code switching, it will be in my literature review. After it, I have discussed the model. There is always a model to discuss your researches. You have to do the research based on a model. So in literature review, you are going to share what type of model what model you are going to use, and what is the aspects of the model, and what type of researches have been done by using this model. You are going to share everything about the model in literature review. So this is about literature review. Now research methodology. Research methodology will include what is your research designs, whether it is qualitative analysis or quantitative analysis, what type of research design it is, what will be the participants of your research, what will be the setting, what will be the data collection method of yours. For example, my data collection method of qualitative analysis of code switching was that I have to record teachers, I have to record the classrooms discussions. So that is my data collection. And how am I going to analyze the data? For example, I was going to listen to the recordings, and I was going to take out the scripts of each code switching analysis, and then was going to analyze that. So this is the research methodology. Now results. In results, you are going to discuss that what results you find in your research. For example, in results I wrote all the instances of code switching that happened during the classrooms. I wrote about them, and I wrote that what was my analysis of that code switching, why that code switching was happening, what type of code switching was that in that time happened. So this is the results. Chapter 5 will be the discussion. In the discussion, you are going to discuss that what is the general results you have found during your research. For example, in discussion you can share discussions are general outcomes of the results. For example, in results I was specified. I was taking each instance of code switching and discussing that how teacher code switch and what does this code switching means. But in discussion, I am generally discussing that what type of code switching was mostly used in the classrooms, for what purpose teachers are mostly using the code switching, what is the general attitude, or what is the general results I have found in my results section. This is the discussion. And the sixth part is conclusion and recommendations. In conclusion, these are the two headings in chapter 6. In conclusions, you are going to conclude the whole research. You are going to discuss all the aspects in detail. In conclusion, you are going to tell that what was your main research question, what was your main thought behind this research, what was your research methodology, what was your method to use, what was your model to use, what results you find, what discussion you do. All this will come in the conclusion. And 1 to 2 paragraphs in conclusion, you are going to discuss that how your results differ with the previous researches and how your results are similar to previous researches. The previous researches which have been done in the similar topic, you will discuss that what results they found and what results you find out, how they are related to the previous researches, and how your result is different to the other researches. You will discuss in the conclusion. These paragraphs are important. A lot of students don't write these 2 paragraphs about the previous researches in the conclusion, which make their conclusion irrelevant. In recommendations, you are going to share that how the next researchers going to do your research. For example, you are going to tell that how future researchers who want to do research in the same topic can enhance your research. In limitations, for example, I have told in my limitations that my research doesn't discuss about the primary students or about secondary level students. So in recommendation, I can say that the future researchers can discuss the 9th, 10th class students code switching in their thesis. So this is the recommendation. So these are all about the thesis structure. I hope you will like this topic. If you have any question, you can ask me in the comment section. Thank you.